Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Cubs are in town to face Ron Gardenhire and the Detroit Tigers. Montuk with a nice sliding play.
He fell down on that.
Oh, he drops down a bunt. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Swing and a miss. He got him. There was a special vibe in the ballpark last night, and tonight, once again, two teams with a deep and rich history square off. Game 2 in the series featuring the Tigers and the visiting Chicago Cubs. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Kirk Gibson. Glad to have you with us here. Game 2 in the series. Well, we know, Gibby, the Cubs are on their way to the postseason. A big addition to their lineup today. We'll see Daniel Murphy leading off.
Yeah, the Cubs have shown they're really getting ready for the playoffs. They went out and got a couple of veterans, Cole Hamels, now Daniel Murphy, plays second, third base. Some say he's the best hitter in Major League Baseball. Well, that may be a stretch, but they are looking for him to jumpstart this offense, who's scored only one run in the last 5 games. Lifetime .299 hitter, .347 in 2016. He does not swing and miss, and that's what they need. On the other side, he is a little bit of a liability defensively. The Tigers may be able to expose that.
All right, now the Tigers, of course, in rebuilding mode, but there are some positives. We saw again last night. Joe Jimenez in the 8th, Shane Green in the 9th. 2 really good bullpen arms.
Well, the Tigers are playing to win, of course, but they are in rebuild mode. They want to see good things. They want to see good impressions. And last night, the bullpen's obviously something you want to do. Joe Jimenez got a runner on base, and he went right to work. And I like to see the emotion. He came back through the ball well. Shane Green comes on, gets a man on first as well, and he mows them down 1-2 at the end of the game, and a little bit of motion from Greeny too. So that's a good sign for the Tigers. They may know that they got a good bullpen next year, and those two at the back end. Looking for a good start tonight from Francisco Liriano.
All right, after a short break to the Coliseum we go, and John Keating, his career may be winding down, but Victor not going out quietly. 3 more hits last night for Martinez. Tigers Cubs, Game 2 next.
lead advantage. He hasn't had the season he had hoped to have, but man, is he finishing with a flourish. 3 hits in last night's game, including that bunt single. He's hitting .345 since July 21st. That's 3rd best in the American League. Tigers and Cubs upcoming on a perfect night for baseball in downtown Detroit. John Keating, welcoming you back to the Call Sam studio. You want a reason to hang around and watch tonight? Well, it's this. You never know what's going to happen, and isn't that for which we live? The Tigers are now 18-22 in one-run games. They have now played 40 one-run games. The last of them was that 2-1 thriller last night that saw the Tigers come up on top of the Cubs. Hoping for more of the same kinds of smiles here tonight in Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit. Is brought to you by Kroger. Visit Kroger.com for great deals, digital coupons, and more. Like Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica and join the Brotherhood of Muscle at the Dodge Summer Clearance Event and get a great deal. Mario and Gebby, first pitch, all coming up.
Downtown Detroit, 74 degrees, our game time temperature. Tigers and Cubs in the second game of this short 2-game series. Liriano is on the mound tonight for the Tigers. Francisco presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Francisco looking to turn around a little bit. Had a terrible outing his last time out. 3-8 on the year. Is not getting the swings and misses that he got in the previous year, but it's getting late in the year. He's taking the ball, and he's lost 4 in a row. Before that, he won 2 in a row, so he wants to get back on the winning ways.
Here is the lineup that Liriano will face tonight. The brand new Cub, Daniel Murphy, will lead things off. Then Baez, Rizzo, and Zobrist cleaning up. Hayward is in right. Almora, the center fielder. Bodie, Contreras, and Happ rounded out for Joe Madden tonight. On a spectacular night for baseball as Francisco Liriano gets set to go to work. Daniel Murphy, acquired yesterday from the Nationals, is in the lineup tonight, leading off for the Cubs.
A little different colored uniform. It always has a little different feel to you.
And Murphy will look at ball one outside. Time now for StatCast AI, powered by AWS. And here's why the shift on Murphy. There's a strike called 1-1.
He can handle the bat, though. We'll see if the Tigers get to stay with this or if Murphy adjusts and tries to go the oppo route to the bases.
In there, a strike called 1-2. Murphy does provide the Cubs with a veteran hitter. They've got a lot of good young hitters in their lineup, but they have struggled to score runs lately. 5 straight games in which they've scored 1 run.
341 on base, 784 OPS, 300 batting average. He's an on-base guy. That's why they got him up there at the top of the order, trying to set the table for the mashers. Baez, Rizzo, and Zobrist following him tonight in the lineup for the Cubs.
That's flared back out of play.
Well, Murphy only misses like 8 or 9% of his swings. Puts the bat on the ball regardless. Does not strike out very much at all. Look at the location there in the Fox Tracks box. Pretty much staying down and away and playing him away.
That'll miss. Now the count fills. 3-2 on Murphy.
205 plate appearances for Daniel Murphy this year. Only 17 strikeouts.
Yeah, the impressive thing is, lifetime, he is a .280 hitter against left-handed pitching. So they do not bother him at all. And that one is stroked in the air toward left field. Hit pretty good. On the move is Matuk. He'll go to the warning track to haul it in.
McLaren Health Plan brings you the Tigers starting defense. Left field, Mikey Matuk. Victor Reyes in center with Nicholas Castellanos in right. Candy, Iglesias, Goodrum, and Ronnie Rodriguez playing first base today. James McCann behind the dish again. He's catching Francisco Liriano, who's got one there. Watch Mikey out there. You see him holding his hand and glove above his hat. That sun's just in a spot right now where you can't see very good. See him shading his eyes.
Ball 1 to Baez. It's exactly the problem the left fielder facing early in this game. Matuk trying to shade his eyes. High fly ball in the air toward right center. Reyes on the move, still going back, and Reyes at the warning track. 2 long fly balls to start this ball game, but the Tigers outfield are running them down.
Yeah, the Cubs hitters very aggressive with their swings, trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And Victor Reyes, you can see him communicating, calling it, and Nicholas gives way. I got it, I got it, I got it. You don't just say it once or twice, you just keep saying it so your wingman can hear you. No collisions out there.
102.8 miles an hour off the bat from Baez, and there's a strike call to Rizzo. 267 hitter with 19 home runs. Rizzo homered in the ball game last night.
Tigers are in a full shift.
Showing bunt, he'll lay it down, but it's going to go right back to the mound, and he throws him out. Nice play by Liriano. 1-2-3 for Francisco in the first. Comerica Park. Their starting lineup tonight presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. And for Ron Gardhire, it's going to be Candelario, then Iglesias and Castellanos. Nico batting cleanup. Victor Martinez, your DH. Matuk in left. And the bottom three tonight features McCann, Ronnie Rodriguez, Victor Reyes. And they are facing the left-handed slants of John Lester, presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
John Lester, fastball. He's got a cutter. He threw curveball and got a change. Run on him. He cannot throw to the bases. So if you're over there at first base, you want to get a huge lead. He will not throw it over there. And if you take off early, he will not throw it. He will just run at you.
Candelario pops up the first pitch into the sunlight, and it's caught there by Baez.
Let's take a look at the Cubs starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Ian Happ in left field, Bert Amora in center, Jason Hayward in right, David Boat at third base, Javier Baez and Daniel Murphy up the middle, Anthony Rizzo at first. John Lester's throwing to Wilson Contreras. Contreras loves to throw to the base. If you venture out there, you immediately get back after that ball passes the hitter in the batter's box.
John Lester facing Iglesias, and Jose looks at a ball high. Iglesias, a 4-game hitting streak, couple of knocks in last night's ball game. Now the 1-0. Iglesias has pretty much settled into the 2 spot in the lineup now. He's been there the last couple of weeks. He had been batting 8th this year and had a lot of success there. 43 RBIs out of the 8th spot. Now Lester with the 1-1. John Lester now is 34 years of age. He has had a good season overall, but he has had 2 starts this year in which he has given up 8 earned runs. Here's the 1-2. It'll miss low, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, I'm going to tell you, all players go through periods during a season when they're going to get beat up. They're not going to be successful. And the good ones power through it and take accountability for their performance. And they're to come back when it counts. So John Lester's a proven commodity on the pitcher's mound. He was before he got here, and since he's been here, he's got a World Series.
Bouncing ball to short, gobbled up there by Baez, and Iglesias is out 2 away. Well, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you will get yourself a free small order of curly fries. Didn't happen last night. Didn't have much scoring. The 2 teams combined for just 3 runs. Zimmerman was good last night. So was the bullpen.
And the Cubs, you might say they're feeling good about themselves. They're in first place, right?
Correct.
But you know, to them, there's a little bit of a panic down in that. I don't want to say panic, but there's an alarm going off down in that clubhouse. They're not feeling good about the way they're playing. 5 straight games of 1 run, 1 solo run per game. They said, we got to get this fixed.
The 0-1 pitch. Castellanos ropes one to left, down the line, base hit, maybe more. Let's see. Nick takes the turn, going for 2, and the throw, the tag, not in time. It's a 2-out, 2-base hit for Nicholas Castellanos.
Hits a bullet down the left field and got out of the box really good. You want to go immediately when you hit a ball, and you want to get yourself set up for first base, and so you might go to 2. And Nicholas did a good job of that. He's got that leg kick, stays back behind the ball. Force that outfielder to make a perfect throw. Nick in there safely, a double.
Nick was hitless last night, but a 2-bagger here in the first inning. Here is Goodrum.
Thanks for reminding me.
Swing and a miss. 0-1 on Nico. 13 homers this year for Goodrum, 41 RBIs. The average, though, has slid down to 228. He has scuffled in his last couple of games.
Better against lefties though. 253 in the year.
Contreras, solid catcher. He showed his wares last night, making an excellent throw down at second, also picking off Matuk at first.
If you're a runner, you got to get back right after it's done, right after it crosses the plate, the ball.
That'll back Nico out of there now. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lester coming off a really good start. 6 scoreless with 8 punch-outs in Pittsburgh his last time out. A very accomplished left-hander. In on his hands, and now 2-2 on Goodrum.
Let's take a look at some of the plays the Cubs did well last night. Makes a difference. We're talking about the picks behind, and we found out they're a very good tag team. Contreras with the quick snap throw and the quick tag right down to the foot. Mikey, upon review, it looked like he might have got in there, but the Tigers were out of appeals.
It'll bend low, and now 3-2.
Those were all on back pick attempts, and you can see Contreras most of this season 73. The next closest, Martin Maldonado at 28. Almost 50 more.
Cubs last night also turned 2 line drive double plays and a strike him out, throw him out double play.
Stirring the pot, aren't you?
Why?
Pick the stick.
Pick the stick, yeah.
The Ram picked the stick.
That was some tough luck for you last night. And he got him, strike 3. Nico thought he had a walk. He does not like that call by Marquez. Tigers strand a 2-out double.
Will be just as good as he was his last outing completely. Last outing just 1 2/3 innings and hasn't won since April 28th. He's lasted 5 innings or fewer in 7 straight starts, and Ron Gardenhire told me earlier today his biggest problem is his inability to command. He's getting behind too many hitters, guys. 2-0, 3-1. In the past, he's been able to get out of those types of situations, but so far recently, since April 28th, the 14 straight starts, that has not been the case. Command and getting in front of the hitters will be key for Francisco Liriano tonight, guys.
Yeah, Shep, and Liriano this year averaging 5 walks per 9 innings, which is just way too high, and that plays into the opponent's hand. Francisco now 1 ball 1 strike on Zobrist, who leads things off in the second. Well, the good news is Francisco had a very snappy first. It'll bounce her to third. Gobbled up there by Candelario, and Zobrist is out, one away. 4 straight retired by the Tigers. Lefty to start this one.
Yeah, you can't be behind in counts. It runs your pitch count up. Also puts you in bad situations with the hitter. They're ahead, you're behind, and you got to come to them at some point. And like you said, Liriano can usually get out of it, but if you're not around the zone, they're not going to swing at the bad pitches.
Here's Jason Hayward now. They play him to pull. That'll dive in for a strike, 0-1. Hayward at 277 was 0 for 5 in the ball game last night. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Hayward had a pretty good battle with Shane Green at the end of the ball game last night before finally striking out to end the game. The 0-2. Got him, strike 3, top of the zone, and Marquez called him out, 2 away.
You know, Marquez is usually a hitter-friendly umpire, not tonight so far.
Well, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Made available by Oakland University. Here's Albert Almora Jr. with 2 outs. 5 straight retired by Liriano. Almora, solid year, 298 batter. Little bit of power, 5 home runs, a former first-round pick for Chicago back in the 2012 draft. I'll tell you one thing, Liriano is working at a nice crisp pace tonight.
Yeah, he's very quick, and Almora last night had a couple hits, a walk. He did strike out, and he led off tonight down the order behind Jason Hayward.
Slice to right field. Castellanos on the run, still going. It'll bounce into the seats. A ground rule double for Almora. 2-out, 2-base hit for Chicago.
Well, this ball is kind of a tough ball to get after. It's down and away, it goes up, and then it starts slicing. Nick, when you're going after the ball in the corner like that, it's just kind of spinning away, spinning away. You try and put yourself in good position off the wall, but it bounces in for a ground rule double.
Here is David Bodie with 2 outs. Bodie last night was 0 for 4, and his slump now has reached 0 for 18. It'll back him out of there. 2 balls and no strikes. We have seen with Liriano, he'll get through these stretches where he is literally unhittable, and then all of a sudden he'll lose it every now and then and walk a guy, walk a couple of guys.
That's why last year you saw him in the playoff picture as he made profile more as a reliever. You know, you kind of get him in, get some success, get him out. The Tigers really received no offers that were worth exploring this year at the trade deadline for Liriano.
Well, as a specialist against lefties, you would think he would excel. They're batting just 141 against him, but still wearing the Old English D here in the month of August. Three balls and 1 strike on Bodie, with Contreras waiting on deck.
Bodie 276 with runners in scoring position. Contreras 206. You know, you never know where a player or a pitcher is pitched against somebody. Could be in winter ball. They have a good feel That's part of how they attack or don't attack.
And Bodie gets a 2-on walk, 2-on now for the Cubs. It'll bring up Contreras.
Contreras had a good little series against the Tigers in this little mini series. He's really impactful with throwing the ball. Really nothing offensive, but I think he's, I wouldn't call him dominating, but he's a game changer and really can keep the runners close by the amount of back picks that he's chucking down there at the Tiger runners.
These are the spots in which the Cubs have really scuffled lately. We mentioned they've gone 5 straight games now scoring just 1 run, but they've got a 2-out chance here. And I'm talking to Joe Madden before the game today, and he said that it's basically the residue of being a team that has good hitters but still very young hitters. And a wave and a miss, 1-1.
Well, talking about the offense in the last 5 games versus starters. At the top, you see the offense against starters. That's not a lot of production at all. 5 runs, 5 games. Ooh.
Yeah, they've gotten the pitching to win those games, just not the offense. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Actually got a piece of it. Cubs last night were 0 for 5 with men in scoring position.
But again, there you have a team that is on top of the standings.
Right.
You think, oh, they're feeling good, everything's fine. It doesn't work that way. We were 35-5 in '84. We were still scared that we weren't going to finish it out. 2.5 games up on St. Louis, who refuses to win. They're 8-2. Cubs are 5-5 in their last 10. Don't count Milwaukee out at 3 games back. They've lost 1 in a row. Pretty interesting division over there, the National League Central.
2-2 on Contreras. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and Liriano pitching out of trouble here in the second. They strand a double and a walk. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Last night, Giancarlo Stanton makes his return to Miami, where he started for so many years. First game back, got a standing ovation and banged a base hit to left field. Stanton had to feel pretty good about that standing ovation last night.
He did. And did you see the exit velocity on the ground balls?
No, what was
It's
it?
like 111 miles an hour on a ground ball.
That's
Buried men off the infield.
Unbelievable. Here's Victor Martinez to lead off the Tigers' second. Vimar's been red hot.
I stand corrected. I heard it was higher.
Oh, really?
117.
What?
So get in there nice and tight. Take away the bunt.
On a ground ball?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Oh, my goodness. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Saw how hard Gibby used to hit him, man. 117.
So they measured the top 12 hardest hit singles in baseball. He's got 10 of them.
Flare to right field and foul.
And the Yankees got the other 2 of them.
Judge.
The judge.
The judge. One and two on Victor, who had 3 hits last night, including a bunt single. You heard me correctly, a bunt single. They're playing him straight up pretty much from the right side. And a ground ball up the middle. He's going to find another hole into center field. They cannot get Victor out. Leadoff single.
Yeah, he's just swinging it good, and you know the Cubs are not shifting him right off the end of the bat. But his shifted average is way lower than his non-shifted, but he's making the best of this opened up infield, hitting the ball well.
Here is Mikey Matuk. Mikey in the ball game last night 1 for 3, but he was picked off first base by Contreras. Matuk had a single in the 7th. Hit a couple of home runs in the Minnesota series. Lester is a 4-time All-Star. He made 3 of those with Boston in the American League and 1 in the National League with the Cubs. Fouled away.
Boy, everybody's moving fast on that field today. Foul balls, they're getting them right in. Lester's working fast. Liriano's working fast. Only 3 hits so far. Been getting it in. They're playing well off and behind Victor.
2-2. Well, Lester, with all the years he spent in Boston, was getting to the postseason a lot with the Cubs as well. He's made 21 postseason starts. It's a lot of playoff experience.
He's not a guy, a high velo guy either. 89, 90 mile an hour on the fastball, but he knows how to pitch and he knows how to spot the ball properly.
Two and two. Little bit outside, full count.
You send him?
No.
Yeah.
Do you?
At this point, you got to figure some things out. I'd put the pressure on Mikey, so you got to get it in play. I'm looking at it from a development thing, and I'm making good decisions.
Walked him.
There you go. See, it wouldn't have mattered either way.
First 2 men on. First walk of the game for Lester. By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live following the game. That's when we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Selfie time.
You need one of those poles.
Yeah.
They call them selfie sticks.
Yeah. Not a fan of those.
No, why?
They just bug me.
You're not going to give me an answer? Just
No,
they just bug you?
They just bug me. Aren't there things in life that just bug you?
Was I bugging you last inning?
No.
I
Why?
reached in for some lip gloss and pulled out a toenail clipper. It bugs you, I could tell. I had a little hangnail.
You didn't even notice.
You did too.
I swear I didn't notice.
Fish-eyeing
I'm
me over
glad
here.
I didn't notice.
I clipped it one time and I thought, oh man.
That is a pet peeve of mine.
Remind me to tell you a story about that. Knock.
And McCann looks at the ball now. All of a sudden it's 2-0 with 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, James in a real good spot right here. 2-0, 2 men on. You want to get something you can hit in the air. Just keep it off the ground.
Leadoff single by Martinez, a walk to Matuk. Lester with the 2-0, and now he'll step off.
Kind of look at the way that the Cubs are aligned, way off the line over here at first base, playing up the middle a little bit here at second base. Want to elevate that ball that way. Stay back.
He elevated it to left field, but shallow. It's going to be Happ coming in. 1 gone. Broke his bat.
Right off the end of the bat, wasn't it? Lester's good at throwing those change-ups and off-speed pitches, especially when he's in trouble.
Here's Ronnie Rodriguez. Talking about Lester and all the postseason starts he has made. His postseason ERA is 2.55 in 21 postseason starts.
That's a lot.
It's money.
That's fun.
Ronnie swings and misses.
These guys have such a good opportunity. Menards brings you the big money encounter. John Lester 2-6 record. Look at that ERA at Comerica. Whip over 1 at 180. That's well over the 150. That's career starts versus the Tigers. 11 starts.
0-2 on Rodriguez. Ronnie right now is sporting a 6-game hitting streak. Pretty good series in Minnesota. Had a couple of key hits in that series, filling in for the injured Jose Iglesias.
He doesn't get cheated.
Negative.
Right here, I want to see him shorten up, though. What are you going to do different, Ronnie? Obviously can hit. Did it in AAA. He wants it in the dirt.
Wouldn't offer, though. Victor Reyes waiting on deck as Lester operates against the bottom of the Tigers lineup here.
Let's see. Contreras pointed right down into the dirt last time. 2-2, 4-2-1.
Fouled straight back.
I would say that's last sign. 2-2, 4-2-1. Isn't fastball usually the finger one?
It is. What do we have here now?
Yeah, but Lester's been around too long. I got to believe. He's got strikes +1 or something like that.
Almost hit him.
Yeah, your reaction is to not let it hit you, so you move. But here he went after his back foot, went after that toe. Looks like a change up outside. Contreras has got some soft fingers back there, doesn't he? Some guys really got to try and keep him hid from the base coaches and the runners.
In the air toward left center field. That ball is sinking. Going to drop. Base hit. Victor rounding third. He will score. Throw coming to third. And he's out there. Single RBI for Ronnie Rodriguez. Victor Martinez scores on the play. Matuk thrown out at third.
Yeah, his hand might have got in there. They're going to take a look at this. But Ian Happ with a really good throw. He got to this. You can see it jam Ronnie just a little bit. Look up here at the Mikey on his way. I think he thinks he got his hand in there, but they're not going to review it. But Victor does score. Did he tag him?
Yep.
Yeah, they got him.
Another good tag. The base runner Martinez got a good break off second base. The only way he scores, he read that ball nicely.
Yeah, Mikey waited on that before he could get a break.
RBI number 8 on the year for Ronnie Rodriguez. 1-0 Tigers. Victor Reyes, the batter. Big swing there for Victor.
Let's take a look now. Right here, you want to hop, and be ready to go right on the way. Let's look at Mikey here. You got a bad timing here. He comes off and he stops, and then he's got to start again. Now, does that make a difference? It could.
It probably did, because he was just out at third.
These are things these guys work on. You don't time them up all the time, but if you do, it gives you a better chance of being there. And down the road, you want to have that timed up almost all the time.
1-2 on Reyes.
Now, I'm not showing that to be critical. I'm just showing you the difference between out and safe at times. Look who's here. John Keating. The president, Keating.
He's lurking over your shoulder.
I
as
know,
well.
he's up to something.
1-2 on Reyes, and he checked it low. It didn't go. Might have been close. James Hoy down at first base said he held up. 2-2 on Reyes.
Now you can tell the Cubs know that Reyes is aggressive and he's a chaser, so he keeps throwing him down there in the dirt. And he gets the 3-2. I bet you he throws another one down there. Back door here.
Yep, but he missed 3-2, and Reyes laid off.
I'd be surprised if he didn't throw it to the ground here. Either back door. I think Victor's going to be swinging. Swing that stick.
Top of the order, Candelario waiting on deck. Now the 3-2. Just got a piece to punch it out of the glove of Contreras. Victor, 2 more hits in last night's ball game, was 2 for 3, and now has hit safely in 4 straight. His month of August has been his best month. Feeling much more comfortable, getting consistent playing time now. And a bouncer up the middle. Here comes Baez to his left. And that is it for the Tigers. But they score the game's first run. Victor Martinez laced it off with a single. And then Ronnie Rodriguez cashes him in. 1-0 Tigers. As we go to the top of the third, it'll be Ian Happ, Daniel Murphy, and Javier Baez facing Francisco Liriano, who pitched around a little bit of trouble in the second, double and a walk with 2 outs, but he struck out Contreras. Happ did not play last night. He is out in left field tonight. Has some power, 13 homers. He as well is a former first-round pick of the Cubs. There's a strike call. The count is 0-2 now on Happ.
What are they doing defensively? They got the shift on. 3 to the left. You don't see a lot of that. The Tigers have started to do a lot of that recently.
1 away. We check in now with Matt Shepard.
Mario, the Chicago team, you and Gibby were talking about it earlier. They're struggling to score some runs. 5 straight games of just 1 run each, all by solo homers. They've been limited to 3 runs or fewer in 8 of the last 11. They're hoping the guy who's stepping to the plate right now, Daniel Murphy, really helps them. I talked to him earlier tonight, and he loves the fact that he's here. He's going to give him professional at-bats. He told me, look, I'm going to compete every day, and I want to help him win games. Now, there's ebbs and flows. You guys know that in this game. But he hits really well at Wrigley Field. He thinks a lot of it is because he plays day games and he gets rewarded in the gaps. But he's a guy who gives you really good, strong at-bats as he grounds out to second here. And Joe Madden can't wait to be able to use this guy in a number of different ways, top of the lineup and at different positions. So I think the Cubs got a lot stronger with this guy. Remember, he also burned them in 2015 in the NLCS, where he batted .539 against them. Now he's going to be playing for them and trying to help them win a ring.
Well, he's coming off giving that knee surgery, and that was a difficult surgery to come back from. But early indications in the 56 games he played with the Nationals, he played pretty good baseball. Drove in some runs and continued to hit. Here's a strike called on Javier Baez.
Yeah, when he gets locked in. Now he's coming off. He's got limited time this year as he came off a microfracture surgery, and I think it's his right leg, right knee.
It's bounced to third, and Baez is out. It'll be a 1-2-3. So we'll go to the bottom of the third.
Call Sam, call the game. Just want to show us, the Tigers want to be aggressive base runners. Look at Mikey Matuk up there that he got thrown out in this play. If we look back way here, he didn't start, didn't have good fluid. Then right here he had to make a decision to go to third because he had to wait for it to fall. Now Ronnie Rodriguez on the next one we're going to show. Look at how fluid and aggressive he is up there at second base.
And therefore a strike on Candelario as we go to the bottom of the third.
Now I tried to jam that in there and I've got everybody confused, so we'll try and go back if we can.
Chamber looks at the ball inside. 1-1.
Now watch here. You want to be fluid. You want to be moving when that ball's hit. You want to be on your way. That's what you want to do right there. And that was a good timing for Ronnie right there.
Slam to center. That's a base hit. Tigers get the leadoff man on here in the third. A single for Candelario. MLB at Bat is your #1 Detroit Tigers app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Tigers home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, and a whole lot more. Download MLB at Bat today. Iglesias grounded 6-3 his first time up. Lester really didn't have much time to take a breather. He threw 27 pitches in the second, then quickly had to come back out. Liriano had a 7-pitch inning.
Yeah, that whole inning went really fast, just like that period I was trying to explain the base running.
There's a strike on the outer edge. Iglesias, a long look down at third for Dave Clark.
Lester throws a lot of strikes. 46 total, 27 strikes. Can you get the bat on the ball and hit and run here?
Would you agree that one of the hallmarks of Ron Gardenhire and what we've seen so far this year is he wants his team to be aggressive on the base pass?
He does, and there's some lessons to be learned there. Again, I'm not pointing any of this thing out. Mikey Matuk works as hard as anybody, but he just missed it at the beginning there. Then he had to read whether it was going to fall, and then he made the decision to go.
Flare to center for Almora.
And it cost him. But yeah, Gardy wants his players to push it because ultimately you want to learn when and when not you can go. If you can get that base, that gives you a considerable chance, a greater chance to score a run and possibly multiple runs. So if you're looking over here, we got Candy at first base. And if he just stays there and doesn't steal, you've got a better chance to score multiple runs than you do probably if he goes and steals, because if he gets the chance to get thrown out. So you want to pile it on these Cubs right now if you can.
Castellanos had a 2-out double in the first. Tigers could not score him. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It'll pop up towards second base. Gonna drop, base hit. Candelario will hold at second base in a looping single for Castellanos.
It's a really good read by Candy right here. Gets a little blooper right here. Candy gets a good read. He's going to do a real aggressive turn, but realizes to shut it down. Look at him. Makes a good hard turn. Sees his ump. So you can see Clarkie right down here at the bottom, and he shuts her down. Make your base coach stop you.
Here is Nico Goodrum. A lot of third base coaches, if not all third base coaches, will tell you, give me a chance to score you. And by that we mean come hard to third base, because if you don't give me a chance, I got to shut you down.
Yeah, if you come jogging in, that should never happen. I tell you what, it's one of the toughest jobs on the field right now. David Clark over there, that's really tough. You've got to read the throw. You've got to read your runner, how he's coming, how good of a turn he's going to get.
Bouncing ball to short. Baez shovels to second one, and that is a double play. It'll go 6-4-3. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire.
Chris Davis did it again this last night off the Rangers' Matt Moore, his 38th homer of the season. That ties J.D. Martinez for the American League lead in home runs. The A's won that game 6-0, but the Rangers came back and won it 4-2. But is there a better story in baseball, Gibby, than your guy Bob Melvin and the Oakland A's this season?
Having a great season. He doesn't claim to have anything to do with it, of course, but he's been very good over there under Billy Beane, and they are for real this year.
Cubs in the fourth inning have Rizzo, Zobrist, and Hayward. It's 1-0 in favor of the Tigers tonight.
Take a look at the defense. Got the full shift, just like they did last at bat. Trying to get him to want to hit away from that side, because that's where he hits all of his dingers at.
Rizzo bunting and was thrown out by the pitcher Liriano. That was in the first inning. He homered in the ball game last night, which is one of the oddest sights we've ever seen. A guy actually falling down,
back kneed him
as he homered, and I mean, it was almost like a face plant. Two and one the count. Rip foul.
No, he had swung earlier to foul a ball off this way. We're going to show it to you now. Look at here.
And boom.
Good one to do it out of when it goes over the fence.
Yeah.
Just get up and jog around.
The only run Chicago had last night. It is only the second time in Cubs team history in which they've scored one run in 5 straight games. That had not happened to them since 1934.
And Rizzo stands right on that plate. You see all these foul balls. He's got to get the bat out front. It's hard for him to keep it fair in there.
Little roller back up the middle. Easy play there. And Rizzo is out. Candelario threw him out. That'll be a 5-3 ground out.
Now look at Rizzo right here. We watched him the first time. He runs way inside here. Watch this. He's going to be way over here. He did it last time on the bunt. Of course, you know what happens if the ball should hit him. In his first at bat, watch him. This is when he tried to bunt.
Wow.
Where are you going?
Way inside.
Got to go to first. Second.
Third. Home fourth.
4-4.
Zobrist looks at a strike. Zobrist at 372 since the All-Star break. Really understated player. Zobrist has been a guy that really has never garnered a lot of attention. He's made a couple of All-Star teams, played for Joe Madden in Tampa, and all he does, get on base. Has a high on base percentage for his career.
Can play anywhere, like you say.
Grounded toward third. Easy hop there. Candelario throws him out. Liriano getting a lot of ground balls tonight. Well, as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game. They got 6 ground ball outs already.
3 Ks. We got 1 walk.
Yeah, that was to Bodie, David Bodie. Swing and a miss by Hayward. Hayward last night had a 10-pitch at bat before finally succumbing to Shane Green for the final out of the game in the 9th last night.
Shifting again. Now remember, let's look at the difference here. This guy here was back here against Rizzo because Hayward runs a little better. They pull it up, tighten the curtain up a little bit.
Chopper right side. He hit it right to him. Nico scoops it up and throws him out. Another ground ball out. A 1-2-3 for Liriano. But coming up this Sunday, the Tigers retire Alan Trammell's number 3. But how exactly did he end up with that number? Hear the story next.
Lou was 1 and I was 3. Again, I would never have called and said, hey, can I get this number? I didn't care what number they gave me. As long as, you know, if I could make the team, I didn't care what number. They gave us the single digit numbers, they just do it. I don't really know who to ask on why they did it and who did it, but they did.
Well, the great Alan Trammell, who will have number 3 retired here on Sunday. We had Jack Morris earlier this season, a couple of weeks ago. Now Tram's turn will be next. The ball rolled to the outfield grass. Long throw. Man, Pius. What a play there. 1 gone. Celebrate the great Alan Trammell, the 2018 Hall of Fame inductee, when the Tigers retire his number prior to Sunday's game versus the White Sox. It'll be a 1:10 p.m. start. And the first 10,000 fans get a Alan Trammell 1984 replica road jersey. Go to Tigers.com for ticket info.
Look at here. Victor tries to squeak one in through the 5-6 hole, but a great play by Baez right here. Look about that arm, that throw going away. What do you want to hear about Tram if somebody's speaking Sunday?
I wonder who that could be.
Yeah, well, you know it's me, but I go first, Lou goes second.
And so, well, how many minutes do you have?
5.
You got 5 minutes to talk about Alan Trammell.
Well, I got 5 minutes. I would talk about.
You can talk about anything, but you got to talk about Tram.
You know, I'll bring him into it.
I would like to hear that ball pop straight up and heading back out of play, and it'll get back in the seats. I would love to hear some things about the '84 team that maybe people haven't heard of. We've heard most of the stories, but is there any behind the scenes stuff on that '84 team involving you and Tram that maybe folks haven't heard about?
I'm representing anybody who's ever played with him, against him, his family, the organization, the fans. So I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's well, you're running out of time.
I haven't started yet, so it should be good.
Well, when did you find out you were speaking? Yesterday?
No, I've had ample time.
Okay, but
I'll pull it off.
You're procrastinating here.
I'm not procrastinating.
Yeah, you are. You're
trying to
think
of the right angle, so I'm just throwing it out there.
Let me think on that. I'll get back to you. I'm an ideas guy, so I'll get back to you on some
You're
things.
a good writer. You have some ideas. I'll probably be right on the same page with you, don't you think?
Probably. It's going to be fun. I know that.
Yeah.
You said Lou's speaking as well?
Lou's supposed to speak.
Awesome. Matuk waves and misses, and down he goes.
A lot of the boys will be coming back to pay their respects to Tram.
Bring up McCann. There's the number 47 of Jack Morrison. Morris, man, that whole ceremony here was just so well done by everybody. The Tigers.
Maybe right in that area. I'm just taking a guess.
Yeah, probably. It's probably going to be a little bit neater though than your three.
Getting on my penmanship. That's my fingernail. If I would have clipped it, it'd have been better. You wouldn't let me.
I didn't even know you were doing it. Here's ball one to McCann. Go ahead, Gibby. We'll give you another shot. Okay.
Well, the telestrators. Hold on.
Yeah, it's messing with you. There you go.
It's better.
Now, was they going to say tram or trammel?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't
Yeah, we will.
Maybe you could be surprised.
2-0 on Mack, who fly to left field his first time up.
There's no nicknames up there, are there?
Nope.
That's serious stuff out there. So it'd be travel.
Give me the best nickname on the '84 team.
I like Fiddler.
Fiddler is Tram, right?
That's Tram. I like that. I'd have to think of the best. I mean, I think it's pretty good. It's because he used to dink balls right over the infielders' heads.
What did you call Petrie? You were telling the story a couple of weeks ago. He had a bad neck.
Frank. He had a stiff neck one day. I named him Frank.
For Frankenstein?
Right.
Leave it to you. Frank.
Well, he had a stiff neck.
That's a great nickname, yeah. Frank. Didn't stick though. Peaches stuck, but Frank didn't.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to have temporary things to describe what's going on, right?
Right.
So I was thinking about getting Tram some gifts from the guys. How do you think that would play?
How about a fiddle?
Well, that would be one.
Swing and a miss, and McCann is out of there. It's going to be the third strikeout for Lester. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And it's Chevy Truck Month. Bring on the new and hand down the old Chevrolet. Find new roads. Some youngsters had a chance to go out and meet their heroes tonight before the game as the Tigers lined up. Nice night for baseball here. Temps in the 70s, and the Tigers have a 1-0 lead in this game as Liriano goes back to the hill. And he's done a fabulous job so far. He's retired 7 straight batters. It'll bounce in, 1 ball and 1 strike on Almora. Now the 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Almora had a double with 2 outs in the second. The best scoring chance the Cubs have had, but they stranded him there. Liriano's got a boatload of ground ball outs so far in this game. There's a soft liner to left, base hit. 2 for 2 now for Almora.
Well, Francisco Liriano's been pretty good today. 7 ground ball out so far. He's looking for 1 right now, but just look at how he's got the Cubs reaching out after these balls. Sliders working. Look at, he gets Rizzo right there. Hayward all trying to pull the ball. He's getting the ball down and away. 7 ground balls with the Almora on, looking for another one right here, getting that double play.
David Bodie had a walk. You see the 7 ground ball outs in the out distribution for Liriano. Couple of quick innings, and that has kept Liriano's pitch count down. He had a 7-pitch third. One ball and 1 strike. Hey, look who's roaming around the statues.
Ooh.
Any relation?
No, I don't really, I can't tell by that view. Appreciate the support though. Have him tell him.
See, now you can tell. Well,
that might be a giveaway there. Maybe supported my foundation or something. Got
that'd
something.
Be nice, yeah.
You know, fans have been great to everybody who really has ever played there. Sometimes they keep you honest. Oh, that's Mr. Zinnig. Tell him, Jim. Is it signed?
He might have to get that signed. There's a strike called on Bodie, 1 and 2.
Should we trap him up here?
Why not?
We did that before. Ask him if he'd like to have it signed, Zinnig. Nah, it's okay.
Yeah, watch him say, no, I'm good.
I'm good, yeah.
I would love to.
This is my kid's jersey.
It is my birthday.
It's his birthday.
Oh, you got to sign it then. 2 and 2 on Bodie. Oh, we got to get him up here.
Yeah, we'll get him up here. I don't know if we can get him in here. I might have to go out to the concourse and sign a couple. As we look for the double play ball here, 2-2 count.
Driven deep to left field on the line and gone. A line drive home run for David Bodie. And for the first time in 6 games, the Cubs have scored more than 1 run. And a loud cheer from all the Cubs fans in attendance.
No, it's a hanger. You can see it's a breaking ball or a slider. He just sits back and gets it. You get 2 strikes on somebody. That's what they're going to do. They're going to stay back extra. He got all that one. 2-1 game now. The Tigers trail by 1 as we're in the top of the 5th.
That snaps an 0 for 18 for Bodie. And Liriano missing low. 1-0 on Contreras.
This kid's got some sock, doesn't he?
He does, man. He hit that grand slam walk-off fashion recently, and that one was a laser to left.
And here's what's happened to Francisco this year, cruising along, and seems like just gets out of sorts a little bit here. He can't locate how he was earlier. He's struggling to find the zone where he wants to throw the ball, and good visit right here to try and get him back on track.
Well, it's time to head to Comerica Park, Spartan fans. This Friday, the Tigers take on the White Sox. Show your school spirit for the Fox Sports University Days. Special package includes a game ticket, a Tigers cap in green and white, and a donation back to your school. Go to tigers.com/MSU if you'd like to join the party on Friday night, August 24th.
Did you hear that walk-up music there?
I wasn't listening. What is it? Or what was it?
I don't know if it was walk-up music or just cat scratch fever.
Oh, yeah.
The local legend.
Ted Nugent?
Teddy. Do you listen to the walk-up songs much?
I do every now and then. Mikey Matuk's kind of strikes me. It's Chill Bill. That thing kind of has a little catchy little rhythm to it.
So that's your tops so far?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what was Grayson Griner? He's got a little Jimi Hendrix. That's pretty cool. Way inside, and now Liriano has allowed 3 to reach here. The 2-run homer and now the walk.
Yeah, Gardy's probably thinking about it. Yep, they look like they're sitting pat in there and nothing on the other end of the line. But if next guy gets on or gets a hit, maybe get somebody loosening it up. Kind of early here in the 5th. He wants to let Liriano figure it out himself. He's a veteran guy. Plus he wants to save that bullpen.
Yeah, and that seems to be the key point every time we've talked to Gardy about the fact that his starters don't go all that deep. I mean, that's the first thing he talks about. Sooner or later that will have a negative effect on your bullpen. And now we're late in the season here, late toward the month of August. Here's a bunt attempt that goes foul.
You double bunt that?
Sounded like it.
He went into fair territory.
He bunted it into something.
He was in the box, so yeah, he double bunted it. Oh, the shin. There. That's definitely foul. Candy in the corner now.
Here's the 0-1. Instead, he'll go back. He had him leaning. Liriano faced the Cubs back in July, went 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs in that game at Wrigley. He walked 4 and struck out 4 in that game. Started this one with a very snappy pace. Had retired 7 straight, then a single and homer here in the 5th inning for Chicago. Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now on Ian Happ.
Love this shot right here. This is a good spot for seats. You can see the home plate if you're sitting over there. You can see if he's coming around here. You can see these guys going around here. Love that shot. We call that the what? Relativity.
Relativity. The 1-2. 2-2 now on Happ. All of a sudden, Liriano's pitch count is starting to jump now. His next pitch will be his 70th. Little looper into right field, and it's going to drop, base hit. Here comes Castellanos, throw to third base, going to be a play, and he's out by a wide margin. Contreras never stopped, rounding second, and he tested Castellanos, and Nick nailed him.
Nick did a good job of coming in and playing this, and he got rid of it really quick. He goes around second base. I think he stumbles a little bit. Bad turn. You got to get yourself under control when you're running those bases and just try to elude the tag. And Candy puts it on him. Good job, Nicholas. See, Contreras almost went over his feet, almost came over his head, huh? The field looks like it's still got a little moisture in it.
Yeah, he came to a skidding halt. Big play there now for the Tigers. That is only the first out of the inning. Happ took second on the throw.
You look at here is the situation, the way they're playing kind of a little semi shift. He's going to be leading off here. He's really close. So if he takes off, he's running. He gets a decent jump. That's going to be hard to get him at third base. See, Nico's still out and playing short right field.
Bouncing ball left side is going to get through a base hit. This will score a run as Happ comes in, and Daniel Murphy has his first hit and his first RBI as a Chicago Cub.
Daniel Murphy aimed that ball right where nobody was. Eyes on it the whole way. Look, nobody's there. He just chipped it right through there.
Chevrolet's most dependable player, and that is Daniel Murphy, a three-time All-Star, two-time Silver Slugger, was second in the NL MVP voting to Chris Bryant, his current teammate, a couple of years ago. That makes it a 3-1 ball game for the Cubs. And Javier Baez standing in. Here's the 1-0. Way outside. 2-0 on Baez.
Francisco really struggling with his arm. Look at his release point. He's not duplicating it right now. Finding a hard time finding his balance. Looks like we're going to see some action in the bullpen.
A 23 pitch inning right now with only 1 out. Baez takes a big rip. 2-1.
I was talking to Joe Madden down there before the game today as well. I was asking him about those tag plays we've been talking about. Did you talk to him about that at all?
I didn't talk to him about tag plays. I did talk to him about Baez and his aggressiveness at the plate, but I'm interested in knowing what he said about the tag plays.
I said, is that one of your philosophies? He said, Javier Baez taught everybody that on this team.
Really?
That's what he does, and everybody's watched it, and they've now duplicated it because they realize it's a better play. And those are the types of things when you're building a team. You're trying to get a nucleus within your club, within your clubhouse, that starts that. People look up to them. They lead by example, and they also correct things. You know, like Joe Madden said, he wants to stay out as much of it as he can.
Buck Farmer warming up for the Tigers. You know who else is a very good tagger is Francisco Lindor of the Indians, and he is from Puerto Rico, as is Baez. And they've talked about how, you know, as kids coming up to Puerto Rico, that's something they concentrated on, is those perfecting that quick snap tag down there. And Baez has been very good at it, as has Lindor. 2-2. Way inside, 3-2. I asked Joe about Baez and the fact that, yes, he's among the league leaders in RBIs, but would you like to see him shorten up that swing every now and then? And Joe said, yeah, but, you know, you got to be careful with that. This guy is one of the best hitters in the league. You don't want to change too much.
Yeah, I haven't watched him play a ton, but what I've watched, I like it. When you talk to people who have been around players more, you get the real deal. And he is the real deal. He's a huge part of this Cubs team.
Slice to right, base hit. Holding at second is Happ, and now 2 on with 1 out. That may be it for Liriano.
Just good, stays back, inside outs this ball. Dick over to get it. Now it's first and second, 1 out for the Cubs.
You got the lefty coming up in Rizzo, so Liriano will stay in. And he's gotten Rizzo to hit the ball on the ground twice, so perhaps a 3rd round ball here would really come in handy. 6 hits now for the Cubs. Ball 1.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch, 96. That's a 5 and a low of 80.
There's your ground ball. Goodrum to second one, and the relay double play just in the nick of time. 4-6-3. 3-run inning though for the Cubs, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Beautiful night here in downtown Detroit. Cubs have taken their first lead of the night. It's a 3-1 ball game. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Cubs. The Tigers are run on 5 hits. Ronnie Rodriguez leads it off, and he pushes a bunt to first base, but straight at Rizzo.
Good try. Good idea.
One gone. Celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Tigers' 68 World Series team when the Tigers take on the Cardinals on September 8th at 6:10 p.m. Arrive early. Special pregame on-field ceremony presented by Comerica Bank. For ticket information, go to tigers.com. That is September the 8th. Be here.
Mickey Lolich right there. I think I saw a little picture of Jim Campbell, the old Tiger GM and president. He was tough.
Ball one to Victor Reyes. Tough in what way?
He ran a pretty tight ship. He'd say just about anything to you. Tough negotiator. Made money for John Fetzer for many, many years. That was John Fetzer was the late Tiger owner before Tom Monahan, I believe.
Back out of play now. The count 1-2 on Reyes.
Tom Monahan bought the team and won quickly. Found out how hard it is. Of course, the Ilitch family's trying to accomplish that goal. They've got their Stanley Cups. They're looking for that World Series trophy to add to the trophy case.
Lester now with the 2-2. Candelario will be next. Lester now is at 74 pitches.
This is a great night to play a game of baseball. The weather is perfect. Good crowd. It's a little cooler, lost the humidity. It's good for everybody. This kind of lets you know that the playoffs are not too far away.
I would imagine the temperatures in the 70s were kind of the sweet spot as far as weather is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, what are they, 70 what now?
It was 74 at game time.
73 right now. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, this is about perfect. The field's still like a little moist, just not dried out. Like that. You don't want it to get too dried out.
Reyes lofting one into center field. Almora backing up.
Good at bat.
Much better at bats these days from Reyes. Two gone now, and here is Candelario. Jamer, a single and a pop-up.
Time for a big fly this season. 230 average. You see him 15 home runs and 45 RBI. He was hot early in the year. This is season getting long for guys. Get into September, many of the minor leagues, they'll be done.
Right.
And by the end of this month, they're done. Many of the guys will go down to instructional ball. That's in Lakeland, Florida. Then some will go on to winter ball. Some will go to fall ball in Arizona. Tigers will continue to play on.
High chop left side for Baez. There's that cannon, and he throws him out. 1-2-3 inning. Coming up next, we catch up with the old skipper Jim Leyland, who is just in town and sharing his thoughts on the state of the game. Stick around.
that when people come to see them, they want to see action. They don't want to see guys on the on-deck circle fixing their gloves and doing all this stuff and taking all kind of time. They want to see some action. And if they see action, I think we'll be fine.
Some thoughts from Jim Leland, who was here earlier and giving his thoughts on the state of the game. And I can't say that I disagree with him, although there is an area of the game, I think, Gibby, though, where you got to strike a balance, because when you get later in games and the bases are full in a one-run game and, you know, tensions are high. How do you feel about that? You've been a player. I mean, you don't want to be rushed in those situations, do you?
No, but I think there's got to be a cutoff point or a point of, I guess, what you'll put up with and what you won't put up with. Like down in the minor leagues, 20-second clock's up and it goes. Guys all conform, the game's quicker, it moves. You know, maybe the last 2 innings or 3 innings, or maybe it's the last inning, I don't know. The clock, you get an extra 5 seconds or 10 seconds. 5 seconds is a long time in a game of baseball. Like, you've got a pitcher on the mound and he's going out of the stretch. You tell him to hold for 5 seconds, you could get 10 guys. I bet you none of them would go that long. It's eternity, so it's really not that much time that you're talking about. But to make people happy, it can make sense to adjust it a bit.
Nick on the run won't get this. It'll go to the wall, extra bases. And Zobrist will pull in with a leadoff double in the 6th. Well, I do agree, though, the action, the tempo of the action has to pick up.
This ball has got a little bit of a slice on it. And Nick trying to get down there in the corner, trying to outrun that ball, but that ball is slicing too much for him to catch up to it. Does a pretty good job of getting it in and holding him to a double.
It'll bring up Jason Hayward. 7th hit now for the Cubs.
It's Zobrist, he uses the whole field, doesn't he?
That's what has made him so effective. Ball 1 to Hayward, who is grounded out and struck out. Two and 0.
See how far Cardi goes. I think that's Buck Farmer up in the pin. He may be getting ready for the next guy should Hayward get on.
Bouncing ball right side, that'll advance the runner.
Hayward totally giving himself up to get the runner over. Saw him reach out, pull it right to the second baseman. That's going to be it for Liriano. Here comes Cardi.
So with a runner on 3rd and 1 out, Liriano is done. He threw 30 pitches in the 5th. He'll face 2 batters here in the 6th. And the Tigers go to the bullpen. Pitching change here at Comerica Park in a 3-1 game. a man out, and we invite you to join us again tomorrow. Tigers hosting the White Sox. It's an afternoon matchup tomorrow. Tune in for all of your game coverage beginning at noon right here on Fox Sports Detroit. It'll be it for Liriano. His first 4 innings, he was in cruise control mode, and then all of a sudden, the last 2, kind of bumpy.
Yeah, I think the Cubs caught on to him as well.
Infield coming in now with the man at third and 1 out. It'll be Albert Almora to step in, try and drive in the run from third. And Farmer delivers a strike. Wall side windows pitching change with Buck.
Well, Buck in his 54th game this year. I tell you, that's getting up to innings, 56 1/3. He's throwing the ball pretty good. I think he's learned a lot this year. Looking for the consistency to close the year out.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now on Almora. David Bodie waiting on deck. Swing and a tip into the glove. Strike 3. Almora's out. Huge out. 2 gone.
Tigers looking to get out of this inning against David Bodie. Let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch in his previous at bat. Francisco Liriano started working him. You can see he backdoored him right there. So he's coming down and in, and he worked him in a lot. And finally didn't get one in there, and Bodie was waiting for it. And a 2-run home run. That put the 3 runs up on the board in the 5th inning for the Cubs, and they now lead 3-1 over the Tigers. Tigers trying to get the final out of this inning. Get back to the bats.
The exit velocity on that home run was 111 miles an hour. And for Bodie, it was his 4th home run of the year. Farmer now trying to get through this inning and leave that runner at third. Infield back with 2 outs.
Good slider by Buck right there. You tell Bodie's looking for it again. Buck's got 95, 96. Got a good slider, good changeup as well. Keep it down.
Two and 1 on Bodie.
I think young pitchers have to learn much the same as a young hitter. You don't want to overswing. You want to find out your mechanics. You want to duplicate them. When you overthrow, you tend to lose your release point.
Now he's gone to 3 and 1. Wilson Contreras waiting on deck.
You definitely got to really be careful here. Bodie's going to be aggressive. Got to hit a corner or find a chase. Put him on and go after Contreras, who's standing in the on deck circle.
Pulled foul. Farmer made his first start of the season on Sunday in Minnesota when the Tigers were unable to call up Jacob Turner. They realized that late, so Farmer had to head up a bullpen day for the Tigers. And Buck pitched a couple of innings in a starter's role. 3 and 2 on David Bodie. And he walked him, ball 4.
About the Tigers bullpen, been pretty well rested recently. 4 innings per game. So they have gone to work on that rest. Whip 115. That's excellent. Only 11 walks, 52 strikeouts. So I think Artie's done a good job managing the bullpen. Early on, some guys got overused, and now they're kind of hit their rhythm. Guys know their roles and don't have to overuse them like they did early in the year. Got to learn who to trust. Got to let some people fail to see what they're capable of.
Here is Wilson Contreras, a walk and a strikeout. In there, strike one on Contreras.
I don't know whether Chicago would do this, especially if you get 2 strikes on you. You may have Bodie go, but you got to be careful with this guy because he can come down and score. We've seen Baez do it. I think Addison Russell did it. I saw earlier in the year. So you got to have your signs straight. What are you going to do?
Zobrist started the inning with a double, advance to third on a ground out. Farmer came in, struck out Almora.
I believe Baez stole home on us in July, didn't he?
He did. First and third. In fact, it was Liriano on the mound. Liriano threw a pickoff throw to first, and Baez came home and scored.
No, that was a lefty, so he wouldn't be able to get off as far against the righty Farmer.
Ooh, look out. Cued back into the Cubs dugout.
This is what it looked like. He has the lefty in there. They read you going, and he's on his way. Good slide here. The old swim. Look at this. Pulls it back. Tell you, a lot of these young baseball players are getting better and better at their sliding into bases. It's a great way to be safe. Been talking about all the tag plays. How do you counteract that so you're safe?
The old swim move.
You can't do this anymore.
Nope.
Ty Cobb, they say. You ever stop to see if they are sharpened?
No.
They used to say he's sharpened the spikes, right? Is that the old folklore?
That's the old story. Now the 1-2. Little chopper slowly. Third base side. Candy backhanding, has no play, and the run will score. A swinging bunt basically for Contreras to score the run from third. Tough break there for the Tigers.
Nothing you can do. Swing and bunt. I mean, Candy came in. Probably did the right thing by not trying to get it, throwing it away. You have to concede a run, though, unfortunately.
A 4-1 ball game. That'll bring up Ian Happ. Runners at first and second. Happ a single and a strikeout. Ball one.
Buck Farmer's missed a lot on that outside corner. You can see his ball moving. He's starting it on the corner, but it's moving off. And the Cubs are not fishing.
It seems as this game has gone on, the Cubs hitters have become a little bit more patient.
I think they have. They're not reaching for the ball as much as they were earlier. Liriano was throwing the slider. And that last hit right there, the infield swinging bunt by Contreras. There's nothing you can do about that. It's a good pitch.
Wave and a miss. Hey, we're going back to college with Nissan and want to talk about Ian Happ, whose college days were spent at the University of Cincinnati. And some notable alumni. Sandy Koufax, Miller Huggins.
Uke, Josh Harrison.
2-2. So Farmer now has thrown 18 pitches here in the 6th.
11 strikes. Missing a lot on the same side of the plate, arm side.
Fly ball in the air toward left field. Matuk going back has room to retire the side. They score another run. Do the Cubs. Nick Castellanos to go up, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Here at Comerica Park, and Mario and Kirk back here at the ballpark, and Gibby, well, it looked really good early on for Francisco Liriano, and then it seemed like the Cubs got a little bit more patient than that big home run by Bodie.
Yeah, I don't think he was burying his pitches like he was earlier. The Cubs had seen him 2 times around. They got some hits on him, the big home run on the hanging breaking ball, and the Cubs scored 3 in the last inning, 1 this inning, so they lead the game 4-1. Kind of Liriano's what he's been giving the Tigers recently, and you know, he's going to come out and take the ball. Right now the Tigers have the task of coming back and winning, being down 4-1 as we enter the bottom of the 6th.
Iglesias getting things rolling here for the Tigers. 2, 3, and 4. Iglesias, Castellanos, and Goodrum. John Lester has retired 7 straight. He'll miss outside, 2-1.
We were talking about the Cubs and the Tigers right down at the bottom of hitting home runs off left-handed pitchers. Tigers with no home runs. The Cubs do have one by David Bodie.
Fouled away by Iglesias, 2-2.
That one could have come in this window. He lost it. He was headed this way. By the way, we did sign that guy's jersey.
Yeah,
huh?
we did. The fella out there in left field wearing a Kirk Gibson jersey. We got him up to the booth.
50th birthday.
Slice to base hit to right field. The other way for Iglesias.
Well done, Iggy. Don't try and pull it. Take what's given to you. Tigers have the leadoff runner on at the bottom of the 6th. See if they can extend an inning and score a crooked number.
Time now for DTE Energy. Know your own power. And these are updated numbers now. Castellanos 7 for 11 with 3 homers against Lester.
Looking for another.
Single double in this game. Fouled straight back.
Boy, Nick is so aggressive on that first pitch. They really try and bury it deep inside on that first pitch.
397 against lefties this year for Castellanos coming in, so that's over 400 now.
Coming in there again.
In the air toward left, but it's straight at Happ. Castellanos retired, got in too far on it.
Yeah, he pulled his hands way in and hit it well, but that's a good pitch by Lester. Didn't let him get his arms extended. Watch him, he'll pull those arms right in there, right at the last second. Got it off the label. Trying to get that in there. Look at, he pulls those arms in there. Right off the label, so he doesn't get the distance. Maybe next time.
You know, Joe Madden, of course, was a bench coach and a coach under Mike Scioscia. And one of the things Scioscia would do with the Angels, he'd have his first baseman play off the bag in front of the runner. And that's exactly how Rizzo is playing first base here. I guess it gives you maybe a few more feet to cut off the right side of that infield.
Well, I think they've taken the bunt away as well. They got one out. He may lay one down. I doubt it, but you know, you have to get back and cover the bag. That's the other thing. We'll have to ask him that someday.
And I just wonder if it's something he picked up from Scioscia. Scioscia would do that and still does that, but his first baseman, and really the first time I'd ever seen anyone do that, will kind of wander off the bag.
Oh yeah, he's trying to get him off further on the pitch, definitely. Actually, Rizzo's just staying right there. He's guarding the line. You want to be in front of the runner so you can see the ball and make a play on it without having to deal with the runner. A good runner would try and screen you.
Fouled away now, 2-2 on Nico. He bounced into a double play in the third. Don't want that here. Strikeout as well for Goodrum, who is now 0 for his last 14 at bats.
1 on, 1 out.
Bouncing ball back up the middle and into center field, base hit. Iglesias will hold at second, a seeing-eyed single for Goodrum.
Good job by O'Mora to charge this ball, keep Reyes from going to second. Charged it real quickly. It's right at the middle, being down like the Tigers are. That's Iglesias, I'm sorry. Cubs got action. Is that Cishek?
It is.
He's got a weird delivery for the righties.
Here is Vimart, a single and a ground ball. He hit one to the hole his last out that Baez had to go a long way to get and then threw him out. Ball one. Victor now is 4 for 6 in the series.
Keep hot, Victor.
Two 2-0 on Martinez.
Tigers got an inning going, much the way the Cubs. The Cubs got 3 runs. How many are the Tigers going to get out of this?
The Cubs bullpen this year, their relievers have an ERA of 3.21. Victor swings and misses.
Let it go.
3 runs in the 5th, 1 in the 6th for Chicago. They lead 4-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now on Martinez.
Cutter.
Lester has had a much better first half than second half.
Here you see the cutter. He's got the fingers right there on the seam. That's 2 of them he threw right under his hands.
Second half ERA for Lester is over 8. In the first half it was 2.5.
Wow.
It's a huge differential. Vimar digs in on a 2-2. Line foul.
Oh boy.
Man, that might have scored 2.
Came in there once too many times. Victor was ready but did not get rewarded. Ball really hooked late.
Joe Madden has finally seen his team score more than 1 run. They had scored 1 in 5 straight games. They lead 4-1 here. Popped up, heading back toward the seats and out of play.
Still got line. Victor's liking it the last 24 games. 345 average. Got some damage. 13 RBI. 7 walks. You do go through streaky periods when you're playing this game, especially at this level. Victor's been through it a lot. Got to give him credit. He's really dug through. And now he's really back on track, having a finish in a fine year. One at a time, just fine.
Ooh. Whoa. Right at the knees, and Martinez got the benefit there. Lester doesn't like it.
Yeah, watch the flinch by the umpire here. He flinched. Look at it. You've got some time, John Lester, but not quite enough. Victor got a little bit more. Look at the locations all around. Where's he going to go this time? Back inside.
Is the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Popped him up. Right side of the infield, Rizzo, and the battle this time goes to Lester. The infield fly rule, batter automatically out.
Oh, look at he's shaking his head.
Lester's not happy at all.
No.
Shaking his head at Joe Madden, who's coming out to perhaps take him out of the game. 100 pitches, and he is signaled, and that's going to be it. Lester upset. We'll be back. Pitching change.
John Lester just got taken out of the game after 5 2/3 innings. Didn't like it, but threw the ball very well. 7 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Really chased the Tiger hitters, the right-handers. Got in the kitchen right there. Always in on his hands, in on his hands. He's done a good job so far. And Joe Madden's doing what he thinks right. Manager John Lester was not happy. Shook his head out in the mound, shook his head walking off. He's still shaking. But Joe Madden's got a plan. You know, it may be beyond tonight as well. Got a wall side windows pitching change. Steve Cishek, this guy's nasty. Comes down underneath. Got a nasty slider. And really tough on right-handed batters.
Cishek has made 60 appearances already.
Slider, nasty. They missed 40% of the swings against it. That's up from like 10 points from last season. A lot of chases. It's tough to square up his fastball. A lot of movement. Get him, Mikey.
Mott took a strikeout and a walk.
Opponents are hitting 189 against the fastball. Every so often he'll float an extra base hit hanger up there, so you got to hang in there. Look at his arm going down. This is tough.
Four to 1. The Cubs have the lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th.
Take a look here. That arm's going to be way out here coming in.
Little chopper, first base side. And got him. Cishek barely got there, and Mikey says, look at it. You could tell he got off the mound late.
Well, Mikey really got rolling. From here, it looked like he beat him. It looks like his foot got down quicker. I think he beat him.
I think he did barely beat him, but would it be overturned?
I think it's pretty obvious. Yep, they're gonna review it. Call him in. Bring out the electronic listening devices.
You could tell initially when that ball was hit that Cishek took a beat before he was on the run toward first base, and that may have cost him.
One of the little things. Mikey really got motoring too, though. I mean, he runs good.
Now, Mikey in his mind knows that he probably beat him. The question is there enough to overturn the call?
There is, in my mind. Let's take a look at his delivery. Look at how he. Look at right here. He's got a floated up there. Mikey's making strides. He's gaining ground. I think his foot goes down first. Yeah. Fans think it's going to get changed.
Well, this would be a bases loaded situation if they call him safe.
James McCann up.
And overturn this call.
Who made that call down there?
James Hoy down at first.
James Hoy.
This is taking a while though, Gibby.
It is, but the fans are fully behind them changing it. What do you think?
I think he's safe. I think he beat him, but I just don't know if there's enough.
Yeah, I think the fans, every time they look at it, they think it's right.
Here we go. Oh, they called him out. There you have it. He was safe. I think he was safe, but there just wasn't enough to call him out. Crowd is not happy. Mikey is not happy. Inning over.
Central Division rival White Sox Saturday at 6:10. First 10,000 fans receive a 1968 50th anniversary Mickey Lolich bobblehead. Go to Tigers.com for ticket information. And add Mickey Lolich to your bobblehead collection. Got a wall side windows pitching change now with Daniel Stump.
Daniel coming in here, he's learned a lot. Talked to him the other day at the Illich Charities golf outing. Realizes he's got a pitch. He's got a great arm, left-handed, good velo, 6.59 ERA and just under 28 innings. So he's putting her together. He's got a bright future. But he's in here tonight to get some outs. As they lead off with Murphy, Baez, and Rizzo, 2 out of the 3 left-handed hitters.
Daniel Murphy, an RBI single in the 5th inning. And made it a 3-1 ball game. By the way, that single by Murphy snapped a club 0 for 30 with runners in scoring position. Can you believe that?
Wow.
0 for 30 before that single, which equaled the longest streak in major leagues this year, the Padres. Also had an 0 for 30. 0-2 on Daniel Murphy. Up top. Did he go? Did not. Sean Barber down at third said he held up.
So I was looking at James Hoy. He made the call. He's had 17 replays this year, 9 overturned. So now he's 18-9, 50% overturn rate, but not tonight. 1-2.
Murphy is a career .299 hitter in the big leagues. Second in the MVP voting a couple of years ago, was a .370 or make it a .347 hitter with over 100 RBIs. I mean, he was really raking for Washington that year.
Watch Murphy. He doesn't really move towards the ball. He's very calm. His upper body moves, but his lower body doesn't move a lot. Watch, his hands will go back.
Little looper into left field. It's going to be caught there by Mata. 1 away. Just like we promised, time for the Miller Lite Hold True moment. Kind of a neat moment here in the booth. There was a fan who had a 23 Gibby jersey, and Gibby said, "Come on up, I'll sign it for you."
He did. That's Dave from Sarnia, 50th birthday. I said something funny, I guess. We were all laughing. I think he was after my Kit Kat.
Probably. He's back out in his
You know,
spot.
you have chocolate. Usually it's your birthday. I guess I should have gave it to him, but I didn't. But glad to come out to watch the games, Dave. It's his wife next to him, and there's the signature.
Pretty cool.
Where he wanted it. And that's a good spot. I've stood out there for a game before.
You actually asked him, "Where would you like me to sign this jersey?" And he looked at it and you said, "Wherever you would like, sir."
Good baseball fan, good Tiger fan.
From Sarnia. 0-2 on Javier Baez. High fly ball, shallow center field for Reyes.
He swings a good bat. He missed that one, or Stump got it in on him, but he swings at decent pitches, and you see he really adjusts his hands to try and barrel it. But down he goes.
I think it's going to be a big final month for Daniel Stump. Would you agree? I mean, he has shown at times this year in the major leagues that he can be very effective from the left side.
I think that he's left-handed and he throws 96 or so. And maybe there was a time when that was good enough, but I think he's realizing that isn't good enough yet. He's got to have better control, command. He's got to throw the slider as well. You got to mix it up. These are good hitters, and but it's what you look for. He's got the tools. Tigers on the shift again for Rizzo.
Rizzo was 0 for 3 against the starter Liriano. Now he's dealing with another lefty in Stump.
Watch Rizzo, his hands, they go back. He tries to stay calm downstairs too.
Heading back toward the seats. Not a play.
So just take a look here. We're going to look at the side swing replay. Watch, these hands are going to go back. He's locked. He's going to put that foot down. The hands are back in the ready position, and then he fires. Go ahead and let it go. He's trying to back leg him again. Big boy.
Chokes up.
2 strikes. Find a way, kids. You get 2 strikes and you don't just do nothing.
That last shot was a good shot, Gibby, because it shows that he is not really holding that bat handle very tight, and that's what you try and do, right? I mean, the tighter you hold it, the worse it is for you.
No, you don't want sawdust falling off the bat. Yep. He's choked up, what, 3 inches or so?
Fingers loose.
When you go to the bat, you're going to clench it down. But that bat looks. How big do you think it is? 34?
Yeah, looks 34-ish.
And he's choking up, so it's even shorter. This is where Stump has to be able to command that slider. Got to make him swing at it. It's good.
Three and 2 now on the left-handed batting Anthony Rizzo with 2 outs. Pulled to the right side, right into the shift. Nico Bobble still has time. Nope, he doesn't. It'll be a 2-out base runner and what should be an error on Goodrum.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if that grass is just a little moist. And it caught him by surprise. It skipped on him. Look at Rizzo. He's got a good swing. Stays on it. That ball skipped and right off the thumb. Smartly eats it. No reason to throw it. You're not going to get him. You can only throw it away.
It's an error on Goodrum, and that'll keep it going now for Ben Zobrist.
Zobrist 310 versus righties, 295 versus lefties. So just a little worse. Double in the 6th and scored a run.
Oh, and 2. Zobrist spent 9 years with the Tampa Rays. He has got a .357 career on base percentage.
That's good.
He's played every position in the major leagues with the exception of pitcher and catcher. He'll drive that one foul.
I think the major league average is around 320, but I'm going to look it up.
For on base?
Yep. I haven't looked at it in a while.
Zobrist also a big part of the Royals World Series team after he was traded to the Royals. It'll bounce in on the count 1 and 2. In the air to left field, Matuk backing up. Mikey gets there, and the inning is over. No runs, an error, 1 left. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. Ram pick the stick update tonight, and it appears that the leader right now is Rod with Nick Castellanos.
And boy, Simo, what happened there? Got one double play. Super Mario back there with -1 as well.
Not doing too well.
Shep, V-Mart gets a couple so far. Lot can happen.
All right, here's my guy McCann to lead things off here in the 7th. Cishek is still out there. It'll be McCann, Rodriguez, Reyes, bottom 3 facing the right-hander. 4-1, Cubs have the lead. He'll sling one in there for a strike. 0-1.
Tigers need a runner, then another one, and a big fly. This is set up for a good extra inning game tonight. I feel it. It's one of those days you stay late, get a victory, come back for a daytime win.
A little bit outside, and the count 1-2. See, I'd prefer to win it like in 9 innings.
I understand, but
not 15.
But you have to negotiate sometime with the higher powers.
No, I don't want to negotiate. I want to win in 9.
Well, when they've got the gavel, you have to.
They do have the gavel right now. We're down 4-1.
That's right.
It's a good point.
So you just submit and say, hey, look, let's let this game go on a little bit. Some good things. You get your hopes up. You get them. Hopes are down. They're up. They're down. It's one of those roller coaster games. You win it. It's all worth it. Sound good?
Mm-hmm. Said the guy who's not going to be here tomorrow, and against the guy who is going to be here tomorrow for the day game.
Well, I'd love to be here, but they only let me in here about once a week for obvious reasons.
That ball hammered to center field. Long run. Almora is going to get there, though.
Shep's got something to
Yeah,
say on this. What do you got, Shep?
Let's bring in Shep.
I'm here to rescue if possible. This is the time of the game usually when we start to think about pinch hitting. Gibby, you know that as a manager, and Chicago's got the best in the business. And Tommy La Stella, he has 18 pinch hits so far this season. That leads the majors. What's interesting is that is 2 shy of the Chicago Cubs' single-season record, which is held by, among those, Dave Clark, the third base coach for the Tigers, who had 20 in 1997. Thad Bosley had 20 in 1985. I talked with Dave Clark about that. He said, look, I'd love for the kid to break it. Just don't want him to break it here on this game tonight, obviously, fellas.
Yeah, good point. You know, Dave Clark was, I mean, that pinch hitting role, and Gibby, you've talked about this a lot. That is one of the toughest things to do in baseball, and to do it well.
It is. You have to trick your mind to stay calm and not get too anxious, be selective. But it's the greatest job in the world. Just think, you sit there the whole game, you watch, you cheerlead, then all of a sudden you get a chance to win it. What more could you ask for? A chance to win a game.
That's all you want.
That's well worth it.
La Stella started last night and was 0 for 4, but he has been a fabulous pinch hitter. Two now to Ronnie.
Oh man, it's 2 of them over there, huh?
It is, and Joe Madden
was right at him. Coach is sitting there. There's no netting right there. It's kind of hard to believe they had no screens there to the last couple of years.
2 gone. That was actually Jim Hickey, who was standing on the dugout steps and spun out of the way. Let's go back down to Shep.
Hey, just to wrap up for La Stella, you guys were talking about the mindset that it requires for a pinch hitter. La Stella told me it's about trying not to get away from your approach. Stay with yourself and not expanding the strike zone. And Gibby, I would think that's probably the most important thing. You only get 1 shot per game. Make sure it's a good one. You get the pitch you want.
That's my thinking. You know, a lot of guys, or there are some who kind of bellyache because they're not playing, but I think the good teams have role players that embrace the opportunity to come off the bench or maybe to pick a regular up. And there's so many different things that have to be done to get to the promised land and win win the playoffs and in the World Series. And again, I mean, I've been with players that they didn't play, they complained, and when they played, they complained because they played too much. But it's just a role. Like, we had Mickey Hatcher on the Dodger team. We had Dave Bergman on the '84 Tiger team, and those guys, they rallied the troops.
Reyes down swinging. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers in the 7th. On our way to the 8th. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
It's a big machine off-road vehicle that makes a lot of noise, gives fans a lot of free stuff. Is going to be coming out here in between that 7th inning as we head to the top of the 8th here at Comerica Park for the rest of these home games. It was built by an Auburn Hills-based Mahindra, and it shoots out free shirts, free soft baseballs. It's got a very loud horn, and it's got some steam coming out it. Earlier today, Alex Wilson and Shane Green showed it off and kind of put it on display. Mahindra folks told me that it's the first of its kind for Major League Baseball teams. And like I said, it'll be popping out each home game in the 8th inning. So it's a chance to get some free stuff, guys. I don't know if they reached you up there in the box, but it has the power to do just that.
Free is good, and Gibby is hanging out of the box hoping for a baseball or t-shirt or whatever they're shooting up there.
Yeah, I want to check it out. Why not?
Why not?
I realized the net would not let it happen.
No. That's the only downside of being behind home plate. Hayward leading it off.
I think fired it up in the upper deck big time.
It'll pop up third base side. Who wants it? It's going to be Candelario. No, it's Iglesias. Candelario is on the other side of the bag.
Now Stump was going to go over there and get that. That he's out for one batter, and we're going to have another pitcher. Artie's going to get him.
So he takes care of the lefty, and Tigers will bring in Wilson now, and we'll be back. I don't know. You're the outdoors guy.
That's cool. Looking for a little bug or two around here in the ballpark. Alex Wilson's looking for some outs. It's a wall side windows pitching change. 46 game. ERA just over 4. He's done a good job with the Tigers for several years now. Jack of all trades. Start, close, anything in between.
He will face Almora, and Wilson this year is holding right-handed batters to a .206 average. So Stump gets the lefty, and now Wilson on to face Almora. Little chopper left side of the infield for Iglesias. One pitch, and Wilson retires Almora. 2 gone.
Gets down there pretty good.
We'll bring up David Bodie. Bodie, the difference right now for the Cubs, he hit a 2-run shot, a laser of a home run in the 5th inning off Liriano, which gave the Cubs a 2-1 lead. They have since added 2 more, lead 4-1.
Fifth inning, score was 1-0 Tigers, and got a hold of this one. Hanger.
Two 2-0. 111 miles an hour was the exit velocity on that home run by Bodie.
We were talking about Giancarlo Stanton at 117 on the ground. That's why his goes so far when he gets him in the air, I guess.
Slap to right field. Castellanos hauls it in.
Boy, Nick.
1-2, 3-8. For the Cubs' final game in this series, and out of the bullpen, Carl Edwards Jr. decided to take a little ride into the ballpark.
Not many guys do that. How many have done that this year?
Tigers have had a few, but not many visitors. I can't remember too many.
Well, hopefully they shook him up a little bit. Carl Edwards got a pretty good fastball. It's in the zone. Hitters are swinging at it almost 72% of the time. This is 43rd game. The ERA 2.41. Good live arm. Of course, the Tigers, when you get a pitcher comes in, they got everything on an iPad down there. They know what everybody's throwing. They know what their tendencies are. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. curveball. Very occasional change. Kind of reminds me a little bit of, what was the guy's name from Kansas City? Flash Gordon.
Yeah, Tom Gordon.
Well, we all called him Flash.
Flash Gordon.
That was his nickname.
He was shorter though, wasn't he? More stocky.
Yeah, maybe he was a little bit. But just kind of the way he kind of drops and drives. Does Edwards.
Candelario leading it off, and Chamber looks at the ball high, 2-0.
96 right at the top of the zone, just a little above. He's very lively. His fastball is right there. Want to try and lay off it if you can. Tigers need runners.
And they're about to get one, 3-0. Jamer in the ball game, single pop-up ground out. Way high, ball 4, missed way out of the zone. Leadoff man on.
Need to get one more. Nick's up behind Iggy. Get that tight run to the plate. Now, would you take a pitch if you're a hitter right here? I think so. 4 straight pitches above the zone. Make him throw a strike. Keep the pressure on him. Make him take it off himself.
Well, there's ball 1, 5 straight. It missed the strike zone. Here comes Jim Hickey now. They're going to rush out to the mound for a visit.
Jim Hickey's a very good pitching coach. Always liked his job, his work that he did down in Tampa Bay. Now with the Cubs, Joe Madden, he's worked for him for a while. Knows what he's doing. Iglesias, I hope that he would take it. Make him throw a strike. Like I say, don't help him out.
Edwards has struck out a bunch. He's had about 12 per 9, but he's also at 4 walks per 9. Here's the 1-0. Outside, 2-0 on Iglesias.
Now you're the pitcher. You're out there trying to get the ball down the middle of the plate. Right now he's trying to throw it right down the middle. He knows he's probably taking. When that over analyzation sets in, that elbow gets a little tight when you're in the backswing right here. Oops.
In there, a strike called. 2-1. More action. Former Tiger.
Justin Wilson, he's walked a lot this year. No, he's going to go with the fastball first pitch. Chip away, you still got 6 outs to overtake the Cubs.
Popped him up. Left side of the infield, foul ground, and caught there by Bodie. 1 gone. That'll bring up Nick.
Yeah, that ball is just riding high. Really hard to get on top of it. Iggy gets under it. That's 1 away. This ball's riding right at the top of the zone. Edwards has got a real fluid, real easy delivery.
You talk about having the odds stacked against you. Edwards was a 48th round pick back in 2011 by the Rangers.
Yeah, was he a position player?
Oh, you know what? He might have been.
That's what it looks like to me.
He eventually was traded to Chicago. Yep, he sure was. He was a position player.
They watched him throw that ball and said, "We'll make you a pitcher."
Exactly.
I don't know, at least 3 of the bats tonight, Nick's really jumped on that first pitch.
One ball, one strike. High, ball 2.
Every Tiger hitter should set their sights down. Hasn't really dropped any good curveballs or anything secondary in there this inning. And it's just, to be honest, it's real easy sitting here watching, isn't it?
Sure is.
It's coming at you fast, you get anxious.
Nick pounds it foul, back out of play, 2-2. Castellanos tonight's single double flyout. Two hits tonight against Leicester. He just continues to pound left-handed pitching, over 400 this year for Nick. He's got the hard-throwing righty now in Carl Edwards, who came in holding opponents to a 192 average. Line to left, base hit. And the Tigers have 2 aboard now.
Well, Cubs are probably squirming around a little bit. Much the same as John Keating is right now with Rod Allen right on his tail. Nick gets his 3rd hit of the night.
It's going to be it for Edwards.
He's seen enough.
He'll face 3 batters, give up a single, a walk, and Joe Madden will make a change here. Justin Wilson will be coming in. Will step aside. Pitching change at Comerica.
With him, and here comes Carl Edwards. Is it the gloves' fault? Not sure, but these guys want to pitch. You know, they want to get out of it. So if you think you're a manager, what do? Lester was upset. You do anything? You just let it go, or do you say something? When do you say something? That's part of it, you know. I guess you can't take it too personal. Joe Madden is one of the best.
Heat of the battle.
We got another wall side windows pitching change. It's Justin Wilson. Used to be a Tiger. Throws a lot of fastballs. First pitch is generally always a fastball. 70-some% of the time.
Nico, the tying run at the plate. Pulled foul. And there you go now, Joe Madden going over to Carl Edwards Jr.
Pat him.
He's still steamed.
Did he touch him or say good job?
Yep, patted him on the back.
He didn't seem like he liked it too much, huh?
No. Cute foul. Now the count is 0-2 on Goodrum. Wilson, a Tiger for parts of 2 years.
And the Tigers, of course, trying to get guys on base, the guys in the dugout, and they're thinking about what am I going to do if I get up. Lloyd McClendon's down there giving up the information to anybody who wants to know. Need runners. Only one out. Need one more. And here you got Lloyd and V-Mart. He's got the iPad out right there. Everybody wants different information. They might look at what you do. First pitch. How many walks, his control, where he's going to throw it inside, outside. They're all looking for that heater. They're thinking about tying this game up and then going ahead.
One and two. That one just missed.
Willie's got a great arm. He's got great velo.
Ooh, he wanted that.
Must have got blocked out by the catcher. See his grip really good.
Check swing roller toward first, and it's bobbled. No play, and they're loaded up. Rizzo looked to second, then he bobbled it.
And he bobbled it. We always talk about getting your out. If you have the lead, he tries to rush it a little bit, and Nico really busts us out of the box. Really goes. And you got the bases loaded. See, trying to get it really quick. Flipped it up in there. No play.
So they're loaded up now with one out for Victor Martinez. Tying runs on the bases, and here comes Joe Madden again. He's going to go back to the bullpen.
Yeah, Victor, 240 left, 258 right. He probably is filtered down to the slugging or OPS. He may want to turn him around.
Pedro Strop coming in now. And we'll be back. Martinez will be facing a new Cubs pitcher, and it's going to be Pedro Strop.
Strop, I mean, Joe Madden, he's trying to win it. He knows this is his opportunity. He has to stop it right here. Strop fastball, slider, cutter. He's got a 40% chase rate, which is highest in his career. He throws a cutter. That's second highest percentage among MLB relievers. And the highest is Blake Tranian, the kid that we saw out in Oakland. He's got good stuff. Been holding the fort down for the Cubs this year. That leads us up to Victor. Did he get good information from the iPad? And Victor, here's the right and left splits.
Strop has taken over the save situations with Brandon Morrow on the DL, but they've got him out here with 1 out in the 8th, and they are loaded up. Here is Victor Martinez. Ball 1.
So just look at why is he making him hit left-handed. Here's the deal right here. 656. The average is higher, but he's got more power and more pop against the lefty. Here's how they're defending. Casti, Guttram, Bodie, Baez, Murphy, and Rizzo sprinkled around the infield. It's got to be fun for Victor.
High fly ball center field, not deep, coming in is Almora, runner tagging at third. And the runner will hold. Quick throw to second, safe. Ooh, Castellanos just got back. Vimar didn't hit it deep enough. And they're going to check that play at second.
Good cut redirect. Look at Murphy's talking to Nick. Thinks he got him. Good cut redirect. This is why you hit the cutoff man. You always have options. Candy's Deacon drawing the throw. Gets caught by the cutoff man. Immediately down to second. Where's Nick going? There's the tag right straight down. Nick got in.
Good call. All right, Ducey pinch hitting now with 2 outs.
Who's got him and picked the stick?
Nobody. Ball 1. Strop bringing it mid-90s. Ducey batting .281. Didn't go. 2-0 Jim Ducey pinch hitting for Mikey Matuk.
0 for 1 against Strop. Obviously going to keep it away. You might want to move up on the plate. That's dirty.
Sure is.
2-0 count. Your mind's telling you fastball. And you see it and it disappears. It throws a slider right into the dirt. But you know what? That's good. You missed it. That's not one that you want to slow your bat down and make a weak out. Now you've seen that pitch. Nothing to lose, just a strike.
And he's gone to 3-1.
Come down to Mr. McCann. If Ducey gets on base, that would score a run as well as he would force a run in.
And he walked in, ball 4 to force in a run. RBI for Ducey, scored Candelario. Four to 2 ball game. That'll bring up McCann.
Ducey now the go-ahead run. So we're going to take a look at Rizzo behind. You want to get off and cheat as much as you can, but you got to watch Contreras.
McCann is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts career against Strop.
So if you're a Ducey, here's Rizzo right back here. You want to get off. You want to score if you can. But remember, you got that Sky back here that likes to pick. So you got to measure that.
Ground ball up the middle, Baez. And that'll end the inning. Tigers settle for 1 run. They will leave him loaded, and we go to the 9th.
Game's not over, but in baseball you only get so many chances. The Tigers have had 2 different innings when they had the chance to really make some noise and climb back into this one, and it's just been left a glimmering.
It really has, and it's unfortunate because yesterday the Tigers played a solid game. They got solid pitching, they got some solid hitting, and they had the big runs when they needed to. Today just wasn't the case. It has been all Chicago Cubs here tonight.
All right, lots of postgame coming your way. Immediately after the conclusion of this one, you'll hear from Ron Gardenhire and Francisco Liriano and others with Matt Shepard. But the 9th inning awaits. Upstairs we go to Mario and Gibby.
All right, guys, thank you. It is Victor Alcantara coming in out of the Tigers bullpen now.
This guy's really gotten it together this year. ERA of .51. The biggie, command. Look at 3 walks and 13 strikeouts. Opponents hitting 200. And remember the first time, were you doing the game down there? The first game he threw this spring training, but looks like a different pitcher. He's got a lot of confidence, throwing the ball well.
A whole lot of confidence, and he's got a couple of changes behind him defensively. You got a Ducey staying in the game at first. Ronnie Rodriguez will go to second, and Goodrum goes out to left with Matuk out of the game. 4-2, it's a 2-run spread now as we go to the 9th. Alcantara facing Wilson Contreras. They offered up a bunt and took it back 1-0. Single to drive in a run back in the 6th inning. He's also walked. High ball 2 now to Contreras. Happen then Murphy to follow for the Cubs here in the 9th. That's way outside to the backstop. Now 3-0.
He's been great with his control. We've gotten into him today. Find a way. Come on back.
Way inside, didn't come close on any of those pitches. Leadoff walk. What do we got going on tomorrow here at the ballpark? The upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows.
James Shields going for the Sox against Matthew Boyd. They're going to have their T-shirts on, Matthew Boyd shirts, with they got some sayings on it, but he's throwing the ball really well. I think he's finishing strong this year.
Yeah, it's a good sign. Boyd was able to finish up strong last year. Here is Ian Happ, way outside, and that's 5 straight now. And Alcantara having trouble finding home plate. Let's bring in Matt Shepard. Shep.
A lot of Tigers in that clubhouse wearing those Matthew Boyd t-shirts, and it was really the design of Ron Gardenhire. Matthew Boyd's face on the front and on the back. It's Boydism. A couple of quotes. This is what I trained for. I'm programmed to do this, all in good fun. Matthew Boyd told me, look, whatever brings us a little closer together, I'm glad that we can do that as long as there's no more room at the bottom of that t-shirt for any more quotes, even though Matthew Boyd doesn't necessarily give those quotes, guys. He's not one of those boasting good quote types of guys. He just gives you straight answers, but nothing like that. Ron Gardner having some fun and trying to keep that clubhouse loose as usual.
I think Matt is going to be around for a while. I think he's going to be kind of quietly working in the clubhouse, but I think he cares to be one of those guys that are proactive in making sure the team nucleus is developed and stays in check.
Low ball 2. Now 2-0 on Happ.
Yeah, you got to get somebody up.
Tigers have some action. Alcantara has gone 6 straight balls now. There's a strike on the outer edge.
Yeah, your fielders can't pick them up and help you out if you don't let them put it in play.
Coleman warming up. In the air toward left center field. Goodrum coming over. 1 away. Top of the order now. It's going to be Daniel Murphy.
Dangerous top of the order. Got better when they put Murphy in the lineup after acquiring him from the Washington Nationals. Joe Madden right up the top. Wants to get him as many at bats as he can. Doesn't miss much. Gives him options. You're going to see Madden. He hit and runs more than I think anybody probably in the league. You're going to see him hit and run with Murphy somewhere along the line this year.
When they get Chris Bryant back, their offense is going to be really good.
If he can be healthy, you're right. He's going to add the power that they kind of miss.
Here's the 1-0. Line to right field, base hit. Murphy has his second hit of the game as Contreras goes to second.
This guy is just a machine. Watch it. He just pulls the hands in, barrels everything. Just, you want to learn how to hit, he'd be a good guy to watch. So the Cubs threaten. 2 on, 1 down.
Now they've got the meat of their lineup coming up. Javi Baez will stand in. A single and 4 at bats tonight for Baez. The Tigers got it to within 2 with a run in the bottom of the 8th. Cubs are threatening now. Oh man, oh man, oh man.
He was going after that.
Oh. You could hear Baez squeal once he hit the deck.
Remember they used to have the little silver canister?
The magic spray?
Yeah.
Ethyl chloride. Ooh, got him on the leg. Listen to this.
Yeah, that's tough to walk off. But the thing that really can get you at this one is it swells up overnight. You have to make sure you treat it after the game. Now they'll be flying, which lets it swell up more.
Yeah.
So you got to try and keep the inflammation out of there, because the more that gets in, the sorer he'll be. But that's their challenge. Tigers trainers have their challenges every day as well. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and he was that far out ahead of it. He's got a quick pull.
Up and in, made him buckle out of the way. 1-1 on Baez.
That one get away, or just trying to make a statement saying don't be diving over that plate on me? That's perfectly legal.
High towering fly ball to left field. Goodrum going back to the track, to the wall, and it's gone. A towering 3-run homer for Javier Baez. His leg doesn't hurt much right now.
Not after that. That's why you stay in the game, why you suck it up. Team's counting on you. If you can do it, you do it. You do it right away.
3-run homer to make it 7-2 Cubs. Rizzo looks at a ball low. Number 26 on the year for Baez. 92 RBIs. He was among the league leaders coming in. Two and 0.
Well, I've been impressed with Baez just in 2 games. He's played well for the Cubs. Does it all, and he hit one off his knee and shook it off and hit a 3-run homer. That's a talent in itself.
Two and 1 on Rizzo. Eugenio Suarez came in with 92 RBIs to lead the National League. And Baez now with 92. 3 and 1.
No, he's aiming it a little bit. Alcantara has not given up a lot of runs, I believe, this year. All of his runs can be traced back to home runs. So he came in off a 4-pitch walk. And that run comes around and scores, and they score 2 more.
That ball hammered to left field. Nico going back on this one. It's gone. Back-to-back home runs, an opposite field shot for Rizzo. And that's going to be it for Alcantara. A rare off night for Alcantara.
And Rizzo, he smokes this, a rare on night for the Cubs. They've been 5 games with 1 run only. It appears they've reversed the spell tonight.
Baez says attaboy, back-to-back. So the Cubs break out with 8 runs in this ball game tonight. Alcantara will come out of the game, and Lewis Coleman comes trotting in.
So you look at the Cubs, they had really 2 big innings in the 5th. They scored 3 runs. Now here in the 9th, they got the bases loaded. Or not the bases loaded, they scored 4 runs. So that's 8 of their runs in 2 innings. The Tigers had great opportunities as well. In the 8th inning was the last inning, and then in the 6th. But we're unable to capitalize on that. So there you have the 8-2 game so far. Tigers unable to get their runs in tonight, and the Cubs are.
Well, as Lewis Coleman warms up, let's talk about what's coming up for the Tigers next year. Their schedule for 2019 was announced today. The Tigers will have some dates that are of note. Of course, they will open up next year in Toronto, so no rainouts.
Yeah, and warm anyway, huh?
Yeah, no doubt. Home opener on April 4th against the Royals. A Father's Day tilt with the Cleveland Indians. And the interleague opponents next year: Pirates, Nationals, Phillies, and Marlins.
So what one do we? Those are home interleague opponents. So
we go to Philly. We go to New York, I believe, to play the Mets. Correct?
You like that stadium?
Citi Field? Yeah, it's not bad.
Well, it's certainly better than the O'Shea, huh?
Oh, no question. Lewis Coleman is on now for the Tigers.
Oh my gosh, you see this guy on the scoreboard?
Some guy on the scoreboard is doing a dance.
Get him off.
Here is Zobrist. Double, scored a run in the 6th. Little chopper, foul. It is a 4-run 9th inning for the Cubs. They've opened up an 8-2 lead.
3 home runs tonight by the Cubs. Cody, Baez, and Rizzo.
Oh, that's pelted down the right field line. Going to hook, though. Zobrist, a touch out in front. 0-2.
Talking to Matt a little bit about Ben Zobrist. Remember, they had him down in Tampa. This guy is a great addition to any team. Plays anywhere. Can handle the bat. He's got a good stick.
Normally, when you have a guy that can play literally anywhere on the field, you kind of take what you can get offensively. But this guy is a pretty good contributor.
Yeah, well, he's hitting .306 this year. 9 home run, 47 RBI coming in. Benjamin Thomas Zobrist. You know what his nickname is?
Ben.
Zorilla.
Zorilla, nice.
Drafted by the Astros, the 6th round. Back in 2006, he was debuted, so he's been around for a while. He's got experience and probably a lot of knowledge and wisdom to pass around the team.
Bouncing ball right side. Rodriguez charging. Quick flip. 2 gone. It's funny how things can really change on a dime. When you look back at that bottom of the 8th, bases loaded, Tigers got a run in. McKinnon's a ball up the middle that looked like it was going into center field to possibly tie the game. Baez comes over, cuts it off, and throws him out. And then Chicago scores 4.
Is that Kinsler?
It is. They have several guys in their bullpen with closing experience. Kinsler, former Minnesota Twin. Hayward grounds it foul.
Yeah, Twins fans were not happy when they traded Kinsler this year. They said that they felt like they maybe gave up a little early, but he's got a great arm.
Bouncing ball left side. Iglesias. Hayward is out, and that'll end the inning. Here comes the bottom of the ninth. Powered today by the Chicago Cubs. Bodie got it started.
Then Anthony Rizzo, Javier Baez, then Rizzo after that in the ninth inning, pouring on the Tigers tonight. Out there 8-2. Rizzo got some type of power, pole to pole. And the Cubs feel relief so far. The Tigers could come back. Never know.
Murphy coming out of the ballgame now. Zobrist, their DH, is going to play second base.
That's such a Joe Madden move right there.
Isn't it?
Going to lose his DH. You know, so what that means is your pitcher would have to hit if the Tigers tied it up. So he's willing to do that, but he's going full defense by moving Zobrist to second. Murphy comes out.
Brandon Kinsler is on.
So that would put the pitcher in the #1 spot to hit.
Tigers have Rodriguez, Reyes, and Candelario here in the bottom of the ninth. And Ronnie looks at a strike. Kinsler, a couple of years with Minnesota. Strike two. 0-2 on Ronnie.
He was traded last year, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I screwed that one up.
And then dealt away this July by Washington. The Nationals dealt him to the Cubs. Ronnie wouldn't chase. 1-2.
I tell you, it's a lot of movement lately, not only in the minor leagues but major leagues as well. It seems like if you're going to trade players in the majors, you got to throw a little trinket from the minors on there, and these guys really scout their organizations. All teams do.
Down it goes. One gone.
92 mile an hour up top of the zone. Ronnie couldn't get on top. These pitches look so good at the plate, but they really explode on you. There are a few guys that are high ball hitters, but not a ton.
Victor Reyes looks at a strike. Kinsler doing something that Edwards and Strop couldn't do, and that's pound the strike zone.
Yeah, he's going right to work.
1 ball and 1 strike. Reyes in the ball game 0 for 3. Little chopper up the middle. Baez throws him out. 2 gone.
Just asking Joe Madden about his, I guess, belief in metrics. He said the one thing he really believes in is defensively, and you're seeing more and more teams playing directly up the middle, don't you? A lot of outs coming out of ground balls up the middle. They used to always be hits.
A ton.
And we've got several tonight by both teams.
Here's Candelario. Jamer, the last chance for the Tigers.
Last chance to get me some points. Pick the stick. And to start the rally. Jamer's struggled recently, but fastball he's really been struggling with, but he has started to come out of it a little bit. Played all those games at third base. Look at Kinsler just in and out.
Jamer thought that last one was inside. 1-2.
Still just getting chirped by the umpire there. You see him?
Tried to thread the needle outside at 94 and missed.
Went outside, inside, now back outside. He's going to try to throw that slider, cutter down underneath his hands. Looking for that call again. He's coming in there.
Ground ball to first should do it. Rizzo. Kinsler covers and the Cubs win it 8-2. Now we'll send you to the Coliseum Studios. John Keating with Tigers Live postgame.
All right, Mario, thank you. You weren't going to keep that Cubs offense down for much longer. They win it by an 8-2 final to split this 2-game series here in Detroit. And the home run ball bedeviled the Tigers starter tonight. And it's a Detroit team that had some ducks on the pond that just couldn't get them home. You'll hear from Ron Gardenhire and others at the Tigers clubhouse when Tigers Live begins moments from now.